Well, if you ask, you shall receive. Well, I'm back here at Hyundai of Lakewood, Florida, with this base trim of a 2024 Kona, and this is the SE model. And the only added options on it are the wheel locks, carpeted floor mats, first aid kit, and emergency kit. And this is it. Everything that you see that I'm going to show you on this full tour of this vehicle comes as a standard equipment. And keep on watching, because you might be surprised of how many standard options you'll get on this vehicle. And if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, because I post content twice a week. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a like, and turn on that bell notification ring bell so you won't miss any of the videos that are coming out. And now let's get back to this. Well, if you watch my N-Line and Limited video, you can see that the front end of this vehicle doesn't really vary much from the other two. Now, the N-Line's a little bit more aggressive, and the Limited, of course, is the more luxurious, but you'll still have this signature light that goes across the entire width of this vehicle, big Hyundai logo, and even on this base trim, you get this active louvers that open up or close depending on how much air is needed to help with cooling of the engine. You also have this trim piece right here in this gunpowder metal plastic, and right there, you know, the fascia is basically the same as on the other trim levels as well. Now you have the headlights that are built into the bumper, and those are dual stack LED projector beam headlights with the incandescent turn signal. Now you'll get the LED turn signal on the Limited trim level, but not on the N-Line. And the huge difference between the two is, of course, what's underneath the hood. So let me pop it up and find out. So the SE and the SEL will come standard with the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder dual overhead cam 16-valve engine that produces 147 horsepower, 132 foot-pounds of torque. And that is mated to an intelligent variable transmission. Now, the Kona is available in a front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive configuration. You'll have to spend $1,500 more for the all-wheel drive. And check this out. This is a base trim level, guys. It has the hood struts that will hold this hood nice and tall, so no ugly prop stick here. And you also have the sound insulation, so it should make for nice and quiet ride. One thing to mention about this engine too, as far as the performance, it will leave you about 2 seconds behind the N-Line and the Limited, 0 to 60 at about 9 seconds, but the gas mileage is about 29 in the city, 34 in the expressway, so it's a little bit better than that, so give or take situation. And looking at the side profile, of course, no differences here. Standard comes 17-inch alloy wheels. So let's see what we have. This is the design of them. Of course, the disc brakes behind them. 215/60 is the size of the tires, and they're surrounded but with matte black cladding that actually go across the entire vehicle. Now, the window surroundings are blacked out, and even on the base trim level is the blind spot assist, which you won't get on many of the competitors in this price range. As far as the entry system, you have the smart entry system. If you have the key on you, all you have to do is push the button to lock and unlock, and right in the back you have this additional window right here to further eliminate the blind spots on this vehicle. As we go around, you can right away tell that it is looking very similar to the higher trim levels. You still have this blade light that goes through the entire width of the vehicle, kind of matching the front. And as far as the tail lights, you have the LED tail lights, and then you have the incandescent turn signals are here and incandescent reverse lights at the bottom. Now, they're built into the bumper. I know some of you might be concerned as far as you know, them breaking or being exposed to the elements, but that's part of the new design right here. Big Hyundai logo Kona spelled out underneath here. And underneath here, you'll have the rear view camera. Nothing special about this bumper, no exposed exhaust. You have a third brake light and the exposed wiper here. Let's pop it open. Let's see how much room we have. And the important thing to mention is that the gate opens nice and tall, allowing even the tall people to get underneath here. And this is the roominess that we have on the inside, which is quite a bit. The seats also fold down, so if you need more room, simply fold down the seats and you'll have the room extended quite a bit. This is what you'll have with the seats folded down. Now what else we have here? We have a little bit of illumination, help you at night to load those groceries or unload it. And underneath this floor panel, you have the spare tire as well as the tools to help you change that. Let me get inside, I'll show you the rest of it. And here on the inside, the differences are going to be a little bit more apparent than on the outside. So, you know, as far as the door panel, this is all hard plastic materials. You have the door handle and the window control, as well as a little bit of a storage underneath here. And inside, instead of having those fancy seats like you see on the Limited or the nicely dual colored one like on the N-Line, you'll have just a basic fabric seat. Now you still have the armrest with a cup holder, and it can accommodate 3 people on paper, and no vents, a little bit of storage, and you have 2 USB Type-C ports right in this middle console. No seat back pockets in either of the seats. And let me jump inside, I'll show you how I fit in there. So I'm happy to report that even as a 6-foot tall adult, I'll find myself very comfortable in this back seat. I have plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder room, and plenty of knee room, which is unusual for this class of a vehicle. And here it is, guys. I'm sitting very comfortably right here in the back. My knees are about 2 inches behind the front seat. That's adjusted to my regular sitting position, and my feet fit really nicely in the footwells below. So let me get in front and I'll show you where the magic happens. And let's do a door sound test. Boom. Nice and solid, no complaints here. Let's look at the front door panel. Sadly, the same as on the rear, so you have a lot of hard plastic materials. And for some reason, I don't know if I like it or not, Hyundai decided to use the same colors for the door handles, for all the switches in here that you have for the power windows, mirror and lock controls, which, by the way, all of this equipment is standard on this vehicle. You have quite a bit of storage in the bottom of the door and the speaker as well. Now, when we get inside, there's going to be some surprises waiting for you, but before we do that, take a look at the seat. Nothing unusual about this. Same sill cover with the same fabric as in the back, and both driver and passenger seats are manual adjustments. Now, on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you'll have the dimmer, traction control. You can turn off that engine on and off start, and you also have the hill ascent assist, as well as the electronic parking brake, and you'll have the tilt and just a tilt. Oh, telescoping too. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Pretty cool. Here's the interior of this 2024 Kona SE. I gotta tell you, you'll have tons of features here that you won't even be able to order or get on some of the competitors. Let's take a look at it. First of all, steering wheel, there's nothing too crazy about it. It's not wrapped or anything, but it is a decent size. It has the notches right here, so you can comfortably drive it. You also have this ... which, by the way, means H in Morse code. For some reason, Hyundai decided it was a good idea. And then you have a bunch of buttons on the left-hand side. You have this Pages menu button, OK. Then you have the cruise control and the lane keep assist. So no dynamic cruise control here, no adaptive cruise control in this base trim level. But let's see, we're gonna play around with these when I show you that instrument cluster. And you have 2 customizables, button mode and the start button here. Of course, you have the phone button, mute and volume button, as well as the voice control. And now on the website, it's a little confusing because it says in order to get the fully digital instrument cluster, you'll have to go with the SEL with the convenience package. Now here's the SE, nothing added to it. I have the digital instrument cluster, and you know, it has the speedometer on the left hand side, tachometer on the right hand side, fuel gauge, and right in the middle is where we can change some settings in here. So first of all, you have the lane keep assist. Now you have the tire pressure drive to display. Now we can go to the next one, auto stop, pause, transmission condition not met, and back to the middle screen. So you don't have as many options as you have at the high trim levels, but still very nice considering, again, this is a base trim. And check this out. Moving on to the middle screen right here. This is something that you won't even get as an option on most of the competitors right here. This is a 12.3-inch screen. Most of the competitors go up to the 9-inch screen, and that's if you're lucky. And we have this new Hyundai interface. So let's see what it has. First of all, as far as the radio, as far as your radio sources, FM, AM, and Sirius XM. So I'm glad they didn't get rid of the Sirius XM as some of the competitors did. You have the compass or clock, if you want it on the side. Back to the main screen, phone projection, and Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Wait a minute. What do I see here? Please connect the phone that supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay via a USB cable. This is what we've seen before. Or from the list, select a device that supports wireless connections. We're going to select this. Enable to connect. Okay, well, I'm going to try to connect it from my phone here. So here it is. We're going to try to connect it. We're going to skip sync contact, sync SMS. No. Check this out, guys. Device is connected. Do you want to use Android Auto? Yes. Device connected. Wow. Wireless connection. Now, I shouldn't be surprised because on the lower end trims with Hyundai, you'll get the wireless connection. Now this is the larger screen with the new software, and we have the wireless connection in here. By the way, I have no idea how that daily thing comes popping up. And here it is. Nice, colorful Android Auto display. Very impressed with it. I hope this is part of the software update that they were talking about, that they're going to allow to connect wirelessly to the vehicle here. Valet mode, vehicle diagnostics, maintenance, notification, online manual, and setup. Let's go to the setup mode, see if we have anything here. Vehicle sound, user profile, screen layout. Pretty cool. I'm going to link it to the drive mode. So we're going to have style A, style B, style C. And I'm going to show you off how that works. Go back to the home screen. This is it. One other thing to check out, since we're on this big screen right here, is to put it in reverse. Let's see how the rear view camera looks. Decent quality. I mean, I think it was better, at least what I remember. It was better on the other ones. But you can still see the pebbles right here in the asphalt. So not a bad quality. You have 3 different angles. Again, this is a base trim level. Well, let's go back to the camera. I want to show you something. Come on, put it in reverse. Trajectory lines, yes, these are active. I know some of the competitors like to keep them static. No, these are active trajectory lines, really nice. Put in park. Now, go back to the instrument cluster for a second here, and then we have drive modes. So we have a sport drive mode. All it really does, it changes the background on the screen. Normal and sport. This is at 2 drive modes. So we don't have this eco or smart mode as we've seen on the other 2 trims. And down below this big display, we have events, start, stop button, push button, start, even on the base trim. And here's another thing. You get this brand new Hyundai key with it. Kind of a strange looking egg-shaped key. This is the new key for the Hyundai Kona. But notice that you'll have the lock, unlock, and the remote start feature, even on the base trim level on this. Now, I like this brushed aluminum look trim right here, and these are all your physical buttons, your shortcuts, home, map, search, media, seek, track, setup, and of course you have your volume and power button. Down underneath here, you have the manual climate control. I mean, I think you can get adjusted to it if you wanted to, and nothing too crazy about it. It's a single zone climate control. Down below, you have the same charging setup as you've seen on the higher trim levels, and which means you have the 2 USB Type-C, with this being able to choose whether you just want to charge it at the higher output, I believe, or if you want to put some data through it as well. And now here you have the regular 12-volt power outlet. No wireless charging on this model. You have a traditional looking shifter. You know, on the side you have a bunch of empty buttons, which some of them will be filled on the higher trim level, so check out my other videos so you see what that is. But you have the drive modes. You have the rear view camera shortcut here, auto hold for the brakes, and then 2 cup holders, kind of a maze looking cup holders, right? And then you have some storage behind them, tiny little storage underneath here. And this is it. Let's take a look up on top and see what we have. As far as the mirror, nothing too crazy about it. Up on top you have the incandescent lights, and so on the higher trim levels you had the LEDs, I believe. And then you have the Blue Connect SOS, no sunroof, and you have illuminated vanity mirrors. You just turn on the illumination separately here. This is it. This is the standard equipment. Now, of course, the big difference is the engine. We'll take it for a spin and let's see how it performs. As always, before we take it for a spin, let's take a quick look on their website and see what's available as far as the pricing of it, because this SE, with everything that you've seen on this vehicle, is $24,100. Now, this is a front-wheel drive. If you wanted an all-wheel drive, you can equip it as such, adding $1,500 to it. SEL starts at $25,450, so it's about $1,400 more. And here's what you get extra for it. So you get 18-inch alloy wheels, roof side rails, leather-wrapped steering wheel, and power driver seat with lumbar. So if that's important to you, that only cost you about $1,400 or $1,350 to be honest with you. And you also get a little bit less of a gas mileage. So let's talk about it. On this base trim right here, you get 29 in the city, 34 in the expressway, 31 is a combined one. You're losing about a mile if you go to the SEL trim, and you're losing a little bit, 26, 32 for 28 combined if you go to the more powerful engine. But let's see if it's worth the sacrifice. And we're going to take this for a spin in just a little bit. But finishing up, the N line is at $30,650 and the limit is at $31,650. So this vehicle right here, between the cheapest one at $24,000 and the highest one at $31,650, we have $7,500 difference. Is it worth it? I don't know. You be the judge. You let me know. Let's start driving. Let's talk about this engine a little bit. So this is a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine versus the 1.6-liter turbocharged engine. This one produces 147 horsepower. The higher output one is 190. So definitely a big difference as far as that. But what do you need that for? If you're just using the vehicle for a daily commute and you need to take it from point A to point B, you can definitely be enough with this. And if you need more, there's always an option that you can go with that. So, you know, let's do some of the rolling acceleration here. Definitely not bad. You know, it's actually, I almost think that this is quieter than the 1.6-liter engine. The 1.6-liter engine was very responsive, don't get me wrong. It was a lot of fun driving it, but it was a little bit noisier, at least in my opinion it was. Also, for some reason, those 17-inch rims feel more comfortable on this vehicle as well. Now we're going to do a acceleration test in just a little bit, but overall this is not bad. The intelligent variable transmission that Hyundai has, it's kind of like a CVT transmission, so it doesn't really have any gears, hence there's no like pedal shifters. On this one you'll get the pedal shifters because you get the regular transmission on the higher trim level N line and the limited. So SE and the SEL will get this engine, the limited and the N line will get the more powerful engine. Difference is quite a bit, so you'll pay definitely for the engine because a lot of features on the vehicle come standard with it, so you pay for the performance. Now 9.2 seconds, this is what this is rated, in 7.2 seconds is what the higher output engine is rated. 2 seconds difference. Are you going to be racing this vehicle? Are you going to be speeding in it? Well, I don't know. I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully not doing something dangerous or anything dangerous, but you know, it's different people. Different strokes for different folks, right? Nice. We'll stop it right here. We have nobody behind us. You see we're at 0. Let's go. definitely noisy. And again, it's 50. Okay, we're not going to go crazy here, and definitely slow. All right, but this is what you'll expect in majority of this class vehicles, and we're talking about you know, the base Buick Envista. I mean, all of the engines on the Envista is the same as a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder engine with 137 horsepower. You get slightly more horsepower on the HRV, but that's the only engine option they offer at about 150 something. And same thing with the Toyota Corolla Cross. Not much different than this, unless you go with the hybrid, that you get the 190 horsepower or 96 horsepower on that one. And of course, the one that I haven't tested yet, so I can't tell you firsthand as far as the experience, is the Mazda CX-30, which everyone tells that this is the most fun driving vehicle, especially with the turbocharged engine. But everything that I've tested in this segment is very similar to it. So will it get you from point A to point B? Absolutely. You know, will it get you with style and comfort? Absolutely. Does it have the technology that I would like on the vehicle? Yes. So the question is, would you buy this base trim, or would you splurge up and pay $6,000 more for the N-Line, or $7,300 more for the top of the line limited trim? Well, you let me know. If you don't know what the other trims are, definitely check out the other videos. Time to sum it all up, guys. I'm back in this parking lot right here. Let me know what you think about this vehicle. Would you splurge and spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 more on the N-Line or Limited, or is this one enough for you? I know different people have different needs as far as the vehicle. Some of them is speed and performance, some of them is comfort, some of them is the safety and security. And I gotta tell you, this one delivers on many fronts. Now, performance, unfortunately, is not one of them. Therefore, I would probably splurge up and go for the more powerful engine, but let me know what you would do. And thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned one or two things from this video, and if you did, then I've done my job. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and turn on that bell notification ring bell so you won't miss any of the content that's coming out. And I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.